It all starts in the dark. A guy named Hub is driving down some quiet roads focused on work. He's a bounty hunter. His job is to catch people who skip their court dates. This time, he's after a guy named Jeb Tucker. Everything seems normal, but something feels off. It's a trap. The Earl brothers are waiting for him. They jump him out of nowhere. One of them slashes his throat. They hide his body behind a wall and leave, thinking he's dead for sure. But the next morning, something weird happens. Hub wakes up inside that wall. He's hurt, but somehow his wounds start healing on their own. It hurts like hell, but he also feels stronger. He breaks through the bricks and climbs out. The air's cold, and he's covered in blood and dust. Nearby, a guy named Tater is holding a gas can. The Earl brothers told him to burn the place. He doesn't think anyone's alive until he sees Hub walking toward him. Tater freezes, scared to death. Hub doesn't waste a second. He grabs Tater, stuffs him in the trunk of his car, and drives off, leaving the fire job unfinished. Back home, it's quiet. Hub looks in the mirror. Every cut, every bruise, gone. His skin is clean. It's like something magical healed him, but he doesn't stop to think about it. He's focused on one thing: revenge. The Earl brothers tried to kill him and stole his truck. That truck was his mom's. He wants it back. His mom, Kitty, has no idea what's happened. She keeps bugging him to fix things with his ex, Mary Ann, for the sake of their kid, Cade. Kitty also spends time with the local pastor. She wants to get back into church, but the pastor has one rule. Hub has to stop dragging people out of church in the middle of service. Kitty says she'll talk to him. When Hub tells her about the stolen truck, Kitty thinks she knows who's behind it. Someone named Lucky probably hired the Earl brothers. Meanwhile, Hub's phone keeps blowing up. Some company called Pot O' Gold won't stop calling. He ignores it, thinking it's just another scam call. He can't stop thinking about Lucky, so he makes a fake arrest warrant with Lucky's name on it. He plans to catch him at a local club, but when he gets there, things take a turn. Lucky's not alone. Mary Ann is sitting with him. Their son, Cade, is playing nearby. Turns out Lucky's living with them now. The moment hits Hub hard. He can't arrest Lucky in front of his kid. Mary Ann comes up to talk. She's holding a paper. It's a permission form to take Cade out of state. She wants to go on tour and chase her singing dream. Hub wants to talk about Lucky, but she shuts him down. She's made up her mind. The talk ends with no answers. Outside, Hub sees that Lucky is gone. Cade says he left for a poker game at the Earl brothers' house. Hub remembers what happened last time. He stays alert and drives carefully. Near the road, he spots someone walking. It is Pastor Ron. Something looks wrong. The pastor's eyes glow red, and his face shows no emotion. Hub watches him for a moment, but drives on. At the Earl brothers' house, Hub sneaks in. He catches the three brothers off guard and takes them down one by one. They are shocked to see him alive. Hub offers them a deal. He says he will let them live if they send a message to Lucky and set him up. They agree and send the text, but the one who arrives is not Lucky. Pastor Ron walks in. His eyes burn with red light, and his body moves like something else controls it. Without warning, he kills all three brothers. Hub barely escapes. His car stays behind, but his life is more important. Back at home, someone waits at the door. A woman says she is from Pot O' Gold. She looks calm but serious. She tells Hub they need to talk. Her words are strange. She says she knows about his death and the fact that he came back to life. Kitty listens from the kitchen. Her face changes. She calls the words sinful, but something makes her stay quiet. She wants to hear more. The woman explains everything. Hub did not survive by luck. His return came with a price. She says his new job is to hunt demons. His second chance is not free, and he now has to work for the devil. Flashback shows the night before. Pastor Ron is standing inside the church, fixing his clothes and brushing his hair. Everything seems calm. Then, the lights suddenly go out. When they come back on, they begin to flicker. A cold feeling fills the room. A strange image appears in the mirror. From the corner of his eye, Pastor Ron sees the shape of something evil. He grabs the holy water and begins to pray. His hand touches the water, but something goes wrong. A powerful shock runs through his body. Half of his face burns. Moments later, Pastor Ron falls to the floor. His body becomes still, but something else takes control. The demon enters him. At Kitty's home, things take a serious turn. Midge tells Hub that he has a choice. If he refuses the job, he must return to hell at once. Midge decides to stay until morning to explain the rules. Some demons have escaped from hell. These demons kill the people they enter. Bondsmen must catch the demons and send them back. That is Hub's new job. Kitty listens but struggles to understand. She wants to know how Hub ended up in hell. Hub says he doesn't know. Kitty hopes there is a better deal. Midge stays firm and says that failure means immediate return to hell. After Midge leaves, Hub heads outside to clean his mother's yard. Kitty picks up the manual and begins to read. At the same time, Lucky walks into the Earl brothers' place. Something is wrong. He looks around and finds the brothers' bodies. They are cut into pieces. Fear rises. Lucky turns and leaves. Down the road, he sees a car. The trunk is slightly open. Inside, he finds Tater. Tater blames everything on Hub. Back at home, Kitty finishes the manual. She looks serious. She tells Hub to stop wasting time and take his work seriously. Soon after, the first order arrives. A demon called Valakor is hiding inside Pastor Ron. This is Hub's first target. Kitty hears this and refuses to stay behind. She joins Hub on the ride to the church. During the drive, Kitty keeps asking questions. She wants to know why Hub went to hell. In her mind, it could be his pride. At the church, they come across the body of Pastor Ron. His face is melted, but the demon is not there. Nothing feels safe. Kitty tells Hub to protect his family. Hub takes her advice and signs the paper that allows Marianne to leave town with Cade. Marianne is confused but doesn't stop him. She also shares that a girl named Cheryl has gone missing. Before leaving, Hub speaks to Lucky and tells him to meet later. Kitty and Hub begin searching for the demon. Kitty keeps thinking about her son's past. She wonders if something she did made Hub end up in hell. The question won't leave her mind. Hub hears something strange. People talk about the lights at the Jessup Pines Recycling Center. They say the lights keep flickering. Hub remembers what happened at the church. The demon seems to play with light. This could be a clue. Kitty doesn't want to sit back. Her heart is heavy with worry. She asks Hub to save Pastor Ron. In her mind, she still hopes the old man is inside, not the demon. Her eyes show pain, but her voice stays firm. She won't let Hub go alone. The two arrive at the center. A heavy silence fills the place. Inside, they find Pastor Ron. The room is dark. A strange glow comes from the center. The scene is terrifying. Someone is dead. The body hangs from the ceiling. A triangle of blood is drawn beneath it. Pastor Ron stands nearby, no longer looking human. Kitty's heart breaks. The truth hits her hard. This is not the man she once knew. The real pastor is gone. During the fight, Hub begins to lose. The demon is too strong. Kitty doesn't hesitate. She jumps in and helps her son. Together, they fight back. The body of Pastor Ron burns with fire once the demon dies. Nothing is left. They leave the place quickly. Neither of them knows that Tater has been watching. He keeps his distance, holding up his phone. He records everything, including the moment Hub accepts the job. From now on, there is no turning back. A high school cheerleader goes live on her social media account. She looks upset and starts blaming another girl named Kayla. Many people watch her and believe the story. After the live ends, one of her friends calls to praise her. They both laugh about the act, proud of how well it went. Things change quickly. The cheerleader hears water running. Her shower is on, even though she didn't turn it on. She switches it off, but it starts again. All the taps in the bathroom begin to pour out water. The bathtub fills up without warning. A demon appears. It grabs her and throws her into the tub. Her body goes under the water, and she doesn't come back up. Far from the scene, Kitty keeps thinking about Pastor Ron. She tries to understand the reason behind the dark ritual. A part of her still believes there is something good in Hub's job, that maybe this new path has a purpose. Hub makes a choice to spend the morning with Cade. He shows up at Marianne's house without warning. Marianne, Lucky, and Cade are all surprised. To avoid more tension, Marianne agrees to let Hub take Cade to school. Cade takes the driver's seat. Hub brings up Lucky's past. He says Lucky has a criminal record and used to be part of the mafia. He wants Cade to understand the danger. Cade feels hurt and accuses Hub of trying to ruin his mother's happiness. In the middle of the ride, Hub gets a message. A new demon has been assigned. This one is linked to water. He is warned to avoid letting the demon near it. Hub makes Cade skip school and asks him to help by watching the area. They head to the cheerleader's house. Cade says the girl's name is Deidre. At the house, water flows down from the second floor. Hub walks inside. No sign of Deidre anywhere. He calls Kitty to share the update. Together, they think the demon might be moving toward a water source. At the same time, Tater meets Lucky. He shows him pictures from the night before. Tater thinks something strange is going on. He says Hub and Kitty might be witches. Lucky doesn't want to hear more and decides to take control himself. Hub hides the truth from Cade but asks him to keep driving. Along the way, they see that someone has opened public water hoses. These seem like clues. The trail leads them to the county pool. Cade speaks up. He says he and his mother are performing together soon. This makes Hub upset. They had a deal that music would wait until Cade turns 18. But Hub knows this is not the time to start a fight. The demon must be stopped first. At the county pool, Hub finds a dead body in the pool. He realizes it is a sacrifice with the same ritual characteristics as the one Pastor Ron did. From the side, Deidre rushes toward him. Her face shows no mercy. She pushes him under, trying to drown him. Hub pulls out his weapon. One shot brings her down. Flames rise from her body, and nothing is left. Cade is watching from a distance. He signals that someone is coming. The sheriff appears, here to check on the victim in the pool. Hub quickly tells Cade to head to Kitty's place. To distract the deputy, Hub sets up a plan. Cade drives recklessly and pulls attention away. Far away, Lucky visits Kitty. His tone is cold. He warns her to stop whatever she and Hub are doing. Pastor Ron's case becomes his weapon. He demands they stay away from Marianne and Cade. Marianne soon hears about everything. She wastes no time and gets Cade out. Her trust in Hub starts to break again. Later, another argument begins. Hub tries to speak about the tour performances. Marianne fires back. She believes Hub never supported her dreams. She feels he gave up his own music and now wants to hold her down too. Cade steps in. His voice is sharp. He says his father's pain has become a weight on their lives. He feels crushed by it. Night comes, and the house grows quiet. Hub drives back home. His mind keeps returning to one memory. A hidden truth refuses to stay buried. 1 month ago, Cheryl's body was laid to rest in the woods. No one knows. Later, Hub is back in the forest again, looking at the place where his secret still sleeps beneath the soil. The deputy sheriff harasses Duke, a local businessman. He knows Duke stole his food truck and uses this information to keep him scared. Duke says nothing, but the tension is clear. After making his point, the deputy returns to his squad car. His hands rest on the steering wheel. A strange energy moves through the car. His body goes still. A demon enters and takes control. Hub sits at home watching old videos of his music days with Marianne. The house stays quiet, but Marianne's ghost shows up again. Her presence follows him. A notification arrives on his phone. Another demon assignment appears. The target is an earth demon named Erdos. At the club, Lucky watches Cade and Marianne perform. The lights shine down, but Cade's nerves take over. After the argument with his parents, he loses confidence. Marianne tries to encourage him, but nothing works. Cade stands frozen. His eyes search the crowd for Hub. Marianne later vents to Lucky. He listens and tells her to cut Hub off for good. A voice yells from outside. People rush toward the sound. Lucky's car is on fire. Kitty caused it, using the chaos to sneak into his office. Inside, she plants a gun and some crystal. Before she can leave, Marianne finds her. Kitty asks her to talk to Hub. Marianne asks for Hub's location. Kitty says she doesn't know. Marianne then pulls out her phone and opens their shared family GPS. Hub traces the deputy's cruiser near Duke's food truck. Duke says the man walked off a while ago. Hub updates Kitty but refuses to share where he is. A source at the station helps him track the signal. It leads him to a nearby store. Inside the store, Hub finds the deputy. His behavior seems off. Before Hub can do anything, Marianne arrives. She demands that he talk to Cade and show that he believes in him. Hub tries to get her to leave, but she stumbles upon a dead body and screams. Hub pulls her away. Mud on the floor leads them deeper inside. Marianne sees the deputy and thinks he's there to help. The illusion ends when he turns violent. Marianne joins the fight. Together, she and Hub manage to kill the demon. The deputy's body bursts into flames. Fire spreads through the store. Back at home, Marianne cleans up. Hub calls Midge. She sounds surprised that he found her address, but she offers no information about the demon sacrifices. She tells him never to call again. Marianne listens to Hub explain everything. After what she just saw, she believes him. She understands that Lucky is responsible for Hub's death. The decision comes quickly. She agrees to leave town with Cade and maybe return later. Kitty calls Marianne. They rush to Lucky's office. Police officers are already there, arresting Lucky for dealing crystal meth. They also find the gun that Kitty planted. If Lucky talks about Pastor Ron, the case will turn on him too. Kitty was smart enough to place everything in his office. Marianne confronts Lucky. She ends things and tells him to stop targeting Hub because he isn't a normal man. After that, Marianne and Cade start packing. Cade feels lighter when Hub tells him he's good enough to be a singer. The words settle the storm. Later, the sheriff asks Hub why he was looking for Deputy Briggs an hour before the fire. Hub gives a filmy excuse, and it seems like the sheriff believes him. A couple drives to the lake to celebrate their engagement. A big truck arrives after them. The man, Malik, tries to ask for some privacy. The other man does not listen and hits him. A fight starts between them. The woman, Zoe, begs them to stop. Suddenly, something strange happens. A demon appears inside their small car. It kills both men very fast. The demon then enters their bodies and takes control of them. In town, Lucky gets out of jail after posting bail. He walks back to his bar and tells everyone that someone set him up. He believes things will get better soon. He talks to one of his co-workers and asks to buy her green truck. Somewhere else, Hub finds something strange in a book his mom is reading. He learns that the places where people were killed form a special shape. The shape looks like a star used in magic. Only one part is missing, and that part may be next. In the past, 9 years ago, Midge started her dream job as a pastry chef. She worked hard, and people began to notice her. Then, her son got very sick. He had cancer. The insurance company refused to pay for the treatment. She sold everything she owned to help him. It was still not enough. She felt hopeless. Then, she made a deal with a dark force to save her son. In return, she became someone who finds souls for the devil. Now, in the present, Hub arrives at her house without telling her first. She does not welcome him and threatens to hurt him. She wants him to leave. Hub tries to explain what he discovered. He thinks there might be a way to stop everything. He believes there could be a way out of their deal. Midge tells him she already tried. Her son became sick again. She believes there is no escape. Hub leaves some papers with her before walking away. The papers show the strange pattern he found. His mother calls and warns him that time is running out. She tells him he must catch a demon named Sliferus. The last clue points to a place called Landry, Hub drives there, but does not find the demon. He decides to wait near a bridge and sets a trap. He hopes the demon will come across the lake and walk over the bridge. He waits there all night. Soon, the two demons appear. They are carrying a woman. Hub starts shooting at them from his car. Before he can stop them, Lucky shows up. He crashes his truck into Hub's car. Hub climbs out without injuries, but he cannot get away from Lucky. Kitty drives to the spot where Hub and Lucky had their crash. She finds Hub's truck turned upside down. His phone sits on the seat and his shotgun lies nearby on the ground. But Hub is gone. She picks up what she can and hears something strange on the radio. A police code comes through. Officers say they are heading to a place called Landry Bait and Tackle. Kitty hurries there. When she arrives, she sees the same woman from the lake. The woman is dead in the parking lot. A triangle is drawn on the ground around her. Kitty starts to relax for a moment, thinking Hub is not the victim. Sheriff Ruby sees her and walks over. Kitty tries to leave, but Ruby follows her to the car. She starts asking questions. She notices Kitty's vest and wants to know what Kitty is doing in that area. Kitty sits in the car and listens. Before Ruby leaves, she suggests they all have lunch together soon. Her treat. Kitty agrees but looks nervous. Ruby steps away when an officer calls her back to the scene. Hub wakes up. He is confused and only wearing underwear. A phone rings nearby. The answering machine picks up. When he hears Kitty's voice on the message, he understands where he is. He finds himself locked in the small jail cell at the back of his own office. Fear grows inside him. The voice on the phone belongs to Midge. She says she looked at the papers and now believes Hub was right. She wants him to call her back as soon as he hears the message. Then, the call ends. Lucky enters the room. He looks around and makes a rude comment about the place. Hub tries to talk to him, wants him to unlock the chains, and warns about the demons, but Lucky is not interested in helping. He starts talking about Marianne. He believes Hub kept her from having a better life. Lucky steps on Hub's hand and then hits his fingers with a hammer. He says they are going to make a video for Marianne. Even if she never comes back to him, he wants to protect her from Hub. The camera starts recording. Lucky speaks into it. He warns Marianne to watch it alone. He even gives her a moment to send Kate away. Lucky tells the truth about trying to have Hub killed. He also says Hub tried to kill him first. Then he turns around and tells Hub to explain what happened to Cheryl. Hub stays quiet. Lucky picks up the hammer again and breaks more of Hub's fingers. 1 month earlier, Hub steps into the Boxcar Bar, looking for Lucky. Tiny Earl stands at the entrance and tells him Lucky does not want to be disturbed. Lucky is busy watching the Red Sox game. Hub asks him to let Lucky know he'll be waiting. Tiny heads off to pass the message. Hub takes a seat at the bar and orders a drink. Cheryl pours it for him. She reminds him that giving away drinks is no longer part of the new rules. They talk for a short while, mostly about Lucky. Soon, Lucky comes downstairs and sits beside Hub. He wants to make peace for the sake of Marianne and Cade. He talks about how Hub has been digging into his past and showing his record to Marianne. He believes Hub is trying to make trouble for him in Boston. He says that his old life is over and no one is looking for payback. Hub does not believe it. He tells Lucky that the best thing he can do is walk away from Marianne and Cade forever. Lucky gets angry but controls himself. He counts to calm down. Hub keeps talking. He says he'll get rid of Lucky one way or another, even if it means telling his old crew that he turned on them. Then Hub punches Lucky. Tiny jumps in and grabs Hub. Lucky stands up and warns Hub that he's gone too far. He walks off and leaves his hat on the bar. Tiny pulls Hub outside and beats him. He kicks Hub in the ribs and tells him that Lucky is going to kill him. He says Hub should leave town. Later that night, Hub is parked outside the boxcar. He is drinking from a flask and thinking about what happened. He takes a gun from the glove box but hesitates. He tries calling Marianne, but her phone goes to voicemail. He picks up the bottle again. Feeling angry and lost, he stumbles into the bar. A gun is in his hand. He sees someone in the back room putting things away. Lucky's hat still rests on the bar. Hub thinks Lucky is here. He gets ready and moves fast. The person walks into the fridge area. Hub pulls the trigger. The person falls, but the sound they make does not sound like Lucky. Hub hurries in and sees Cheryl on the floor. She is shaking and bleeding. He turns her over and tries to help. She begs him to save her. He says everything will be okay, but she dies in his arms. In the office upstairs, Lucky hears the music stop. The quiet lets him hear strange noises from below. A car starts outside. He walks to the window and sees Hub's car speeding away. He goes downstairs to check. The floor is wet and smells like bleach. A roll of plastic wrap lies half open. His hat sits under a cart nearby. In the present, Lucky tries to force Hub to speak on video. He wants Hub to tell Marianne what really happened at the club. Hub raises his damaged hand and gives a rude sign. Lucky does not like that and hits him again with the hammer. At a music studio, Marianne and Cade stand in front of microphones. They sing a song that Marianne used to sing with Hub. Their voices blend well. The sound technician claps and tells them to take a break. Cade feels unsure about his part. Marianne smiles and tells him she feels distracted too. She talks about the first time she came to Nashville and how nervous she felt. Her phone starts buzzing. The call comes from the Landry Sheriff's Department. She sends Cade to get a drink and answers the call. Ruby's voice plays on speaker. She tells Marianne that Lucky got out of jail last night. Then she asks if Hub is with her. Marianne says that she and Cade are in Nashville. Ruby congratulates her on Cade's music path. She brings up the hardware store. In the sheriff's office, the other officers listen quietly. Marianne pauses before saying she went to buy a fuse. Ruby asks again if Hub was with her. Marianne says no. Ruby holds up a large photo and pins it to a wall. She ends the call and tells the team that Marianne is involved. A new wiretap will be needed. The photo shows Marianne and Hub leaving the hardware store together. It comes from an outside camera. Back in the lockup, Hub stares at Lucky and dares him to finish him off. Lucky hears a sound near the door and walks off. Thinking it might be Kitty, Hub sees the hammer on the floor, left behind. At the door, a man crouches and sniffs the doorknob. Lucky sees him clearly now. It is the fisherman from the lake, but something is wrong. The demon Sliferus has taken over his body. Inside the cell, Hub forces his wounded hand through the cuff. The pain is sharp, but he keeps going. Out front, Lucky looks up. The other demon, the man who was recently engaged, hangs from the ceiling like a spider. He jumps down and attacks. Hub pulls his hand out just in time. He grabs the hammer from the floor and uses the claw to snap off the remaining cuff. Hub runs to the door and sees Lucky firing his gun at the demon fisherman. The bullets do nothing. Lucky looks confused. He crawls under a nearby truck, but the fisherman grabs his legs and pulls him out. His body slams into the wall. Hub spots a shotgun he can lift with one hand. He hurries to grab it. He aims at the demon from the ceiling, the engaged man, and fires. The shot pulls the fisherman's focus away from Lucky just in time. The engaged demon takes a headshot. Fire bursts from its body. It burns fast and disappears. Hub turns to the fisherman and uses his final bullet. The demon falls, but it is not dead. Lucky jumps in the green truck he bought from Trish. He drives away fast, praying out loud with shaking hands. Hub picks up a chainsaw. It roars to life. He pushes it into the fisherman's face. The demon explodes into flames and vanishes. Looking around, Hub grabs a fire extinguisher. He does not want the fire to destroy the building. This place matters to him. He puts out the flames. Now the room holds 2 burned bodies. One still has the chainsaw stuck in its skull. Hub shuts the garage door. With one hand, he strikes a match and lights a cigarette. He takes a breath and calls Kitty. Her voice is full of relief. He tells her he is okay. His eyes stay fixed on Cheryl's grave outside the window. Hub stands shirtless, blood covering his skin. Kitty stands a few feet behind him in a faded denim shirt. She helps him back home and wraps his hand in clean bandages. He says he may finally understand why he ended up in hell. He is about to explain when a car horn sounds. Marianne and Cade arrive. Hub doesn't want them to see him like this. Cade says Marianne told him everything about the demons. Hub says the demons are not real and tells them to leave. Marianne speaks with honesty. She says Ruby called her. Hub says that's more reason to stay away. Cade stands firm. He says he is not a kid anymore and will not be pushed aside. Hub gives in and walks outside to them. Their faces show shock when they see how he looks. He leads them inside to the bondsman office. Cade looks like he might throw up, but says he will stay with Hub. Hub turns to Marianne, hoping she will change her mind. She says Cade has made his choice. Kitty tells Hub they could use the extra help. He looks tired and frustrated. Marianne and Kitty begin cleaning the place. Hub sighs and stops arguing. He says they can do what they want now. A boy kneels in a sandbox and pushes carrot sticks into the sand like seeds. His mother calls out, saying he can't play until his vegetables are gone. He lifts the empty bag and waves it, pretending he finished them. He runs toward the roundabout and starts spinning it for fun. From the woods nearby, something fast and fiery bursts through the grass. It reaches the roundabout in seconds, and the boy vanishes. Inside the garage office, Marianne looks at the clock. She asks Hub if Kitty and Cade should be back by now. Hub answers that he has no idea how long it takes to cremate 2 demon-possessed bodies, especially when it's his own mother and son doing the job for the first time. Marianne wonders if the funeral home will tell the police. Hub says they won't. He and Kitty know about the funeral home's illegal business, and that's enough to keep them quiet. A phone starts ringing with a baseball sound. Marianne realizes it's Lucky's phone inside the trash bag she's carrying. She pulls it out and offers to unlock it. Hub tells her the phone has a video of Lucky torturing him. She looks disgusted and drops it right back into the trash. Hub makes a smug comment, but Marianne doesn't appreciate it. A car horn honks outside. Kitty and Cade are back. Marianne goes out to greet them. Hub pulls the phone from the trash and smashes it with a hammer. Kate enters the room holding fried chicken. Kitty says the job is done. The bodies are gone. Mary Ann takes Kate aside to clean a cut he got from the cremation chamber. Kitty sits down beside Hub. She says she doesn't want to hear his reason for going to hell anymore. Now that the family is together again, she wants to enjoy it. Hub says he is trying to fix things. The fax machine makes a noise. A new paper comes out. The next demon target is listed. It is a Pyrolus, a demon that controls fire. Hub finds the last sacrifice location on the map. It is inside a new housing area. Mary Ann says they need to get all the people out. Kitty says she doesn't care. The houses are ugly and can burn. She seems pleased with that idea. Mary Ann and Cade sit quietly, thinking about what will happen to Hub when this is all over. Kitty claps her hands and tells everyone to gather for a prayer circle. Another car horn sounds outside. Midge has arrived. She explains that if the last sacrifice succeeds, it will free one of the shackled seven. These are old angels who turned against heaven long ago. Midge seems shocked that Hub's whole family is working with him. Still, they start planning how to clear the housing development. Kitty looks at Midge with a daring smile and tells her to help too. Inside a quiet church, Lucky sits alone and talks to God. He speaks about his past mistakes and his hope to change. In the pew behind him, Tater listens and reminds Lucky that he was the one who first came up with the witch idea. Lucky keeps thinking. He decides that maybe his angry nature is not a curse but a gift. Maybe it was given to help him fight Hub like a holy warrior. He asks for a sign from above. Just then, Tater's phone buzzes. It's a call from the police. Tater panics and says he didn't snitch. Lucky looks at the phone, then up at the altar. He wonders if this is some kind of joke from God. In the housing development, everyone wears safety vests and hard hats. The Hallorans and Midge go door to door. They tell families to leave and quietly check if anyone is hiding something dark inside. One house belongs to a strange man who is ready to shoot. No one wants to help him. Midge says they can't leave him behind because the demon might use him as the final sacrifice. Hub sneaks into the house. He uses a taser on the man and drags him out through the front door. Midge enters the house to double check. She comes across a little boy, the same one from the playground. Something feels off. She pulls out her small mirror and sees the truth. The boy is no boy. The demon hides inside him. Cracks shaped like a triangle appear in the ground around the house. Hub shouts from outside, telling her to get out. She raises her gun. Her hands shake. She can't pull the trigger. The ground breaks open and swallows the whole house. Midge falls into the triangle-shaped hole. The sacrifice is complete. Back at Kitty's place, the family sits in silence. They all know what just happened. Midge is gone. They gather in a quiet hug. It doesn't fix anything, but it brings a small bit of peace. Hub tells them that even if things didn't end well, getting a chance to come back and be with his family again meant something. It was one good thing in a very dark time. They step back from each other. Everyone is lost in their own thoughts. Hub sees a guitar near his chair. He picks it up and starts strumming gently. Mary Ann grabs her guitar and joins in. She begins singing a song that brings warmth and memory. Cade finds his mandolin. Kitty picks up her auto harp. They play together. Their voices blend softly. The song speaks of a better place waiting above, a place where the broken pieces of life come together again. Later, Hub is having a drink when Mary Ann walks in and mentions how good he sounded earlier, especially with only half a hand. He says they've always made a good team. She kisses him, sits on his bed, and welcomes him to join her. At the sheriff's office, Lucky meets with Ruby. He makes her promise not to go after Mary Ann. He gives her a folder with photos from the recycling plant and says he isn't a snitch. Ruby flips through the pictures and smiles. She tells an officer to call the district attorney. At the bond shop, Hub lies in bed, one arm wrapped around Mary Ann as she sleeps. The office phone begins to ring. A fax comes through. Hub gets up slowly and checks the message. It's a target from Pot O' Gold. The name is Lilith. He starts up the computer and types in her name and the new coordinates. The location shows up, and his eyes go wide. It's the same place as the Halloran Bond Shop. He runs outside. Cheryl's grave is open and empty. He falls to his knees, crushed. Flashback to the night before, a hand rises out of the soil in the woods behind Kitty's house. Cheryl, now possessed, moves faster than anything human. She stares through a window, watching Hub and Mary Ann together. A truck horn echoes through the trees. She opens a pair of wings and flies onto the top of the semi-truck. Back to the present. Hub wakes up on the ground near the grave. Mary Ann finds him and calls his name. He answers. She brings him a coffee. One look at him tells her something is wrong. He says he only wanted to keep her and Cade safe from Lucky. She sees the empty grave. Hub says he was drunk and thought Cheryl was lucky because she wore his hat. He buried her there, not knowing she was already possessed. Mary Ann stares at the grave in shock. Both coffee cups slip from her hands and spill. Back at the house, Cade doesn't believe any of it. Mary Ann and Kitty do. Their faces show pain and disgust. Mary Ann and Cade get into their car and leave without another word. Kitty closes her door in Hub's face. Hub goes to the backyard and decides to deal with the old tree stump again. The machine breaks down, so he grabs an axe. Something moves in the woods. He yells into the trees, daring whatever is out there to come get him. A loud van horn cuts through the moment. A VW van pulls up and stops. The door opens. Midge steps out. Cosmo leans from the driver's seat and shouts something to Hub about not messing this up. Midge says she's been sent back to help Hub finish the mission. This is the last chance for both of them. If they don't finish it, their loved ones may not survive what comes next. She tells him more about Lilith. Long ago, Lilith had the most beautiful voice in heaven. She was God's favorite, but other angels became jealous. They tricked her into joining the fall so she would be thrown into hell where no music exists. Now, music drives her mad. It pulls her closer like blood in the water. Lilith walks into a small-town diner. Her presence makes everyone stop what they're doing. People recognize her as Cheryl Dawson, the woman who went missing a month ago. A few reach for their phones to call the police. Lilith walks calmly to the jukebox and listens to the music with a smile. Hub sits with Midge and shares his thoughts. He wonders if Lilith wants to destroy everything as revenge against the angels who betrayed her. Midge explains that the devil has been obsessed with Lilith ever since she became his prisoner. The last time she escaped, she left a path of pain behind her. She attacked every man she met, until the monks at an abbey finally stopped her with chanting. Midge shows Hub a drawing of the abbey and warns him that Lilith can control minds. Back in the diner, the owner, a man, approaches Lilith and touches her shoulder. Right after that, all the men in the room grab their own jaws and rip them off. They fall to the floor. The women nearby do nothing to help. Instead, they fold their arms across their chests and bow to Lilith, completely under her spell. Outside the Halloran home, police cars fill the driveway. Sirens echo across the land. Kitty steps outside with her hands in the air. Lucky arrives with Sheriff Ruby and several officers. They all search the garage. Hub is not there. The place looks spotless. Hub and Marianne cleaned it up so well that it now looks normal. The officers begin to doubt Lucky's story about demons. Lucky points to the pentagram on the wall, trying to prove that something evil happened here. No one is convinced. Deep in the woods, Hub and Midge park a minivan. It seems like there's always another vehicle ready. Hub unpacks speakers and an amp system. He wants to lure Lilith to this spot using music. Midge asks what happens after she shows up. Hub pulls out a paper and shows the pentagram sketch. The same shapes appear in the drawing of the abbey where Lilith was trapped before. He wants to recreate the trap. At the sheriff's station, Cade walks beside Marianne. Her hands are cuffed. Lucky waits for them. He says he's hired a lawyer for her. Marianne tells him to keep away. She tells Cade to call Kitty for help. Lucky says Kitty has been arrested too. Cade looks at him with disbelief. He accuses Lucky of turning them in. Lucky says he did it under orders from a higher power. He dares Cade to hit him. He then asks Cade to help him get Marianne out of trouble. He wants Cade to say that Hub brainwashed them. Cade refuses. He warns Lucky that no one's going to believe him. Marianne steps into the small room used for police questioning. She sees Kitty sitting at a table. Sheriff Ruby speaks calmly and tells Marianne to call Hub. She wants him to meet her at the boxcar. Marianne and Kitty both try to explain what Hub is really doing, but Ruby doesn't want to hear it. She warns them that if they refuse, Cade could be arrested. With no choice, Marianne leaves a message for Hub. In the woods, Hub tells Midge his plan. He wants to create the pentagram trap using small twigs arranged like runes. Each set goes into a coffee can to mark the points. Midge is unsure if this will work, but she has no better idea. They set it up together. Hub talks about how dangerous Lilith's mind control is. Midge reminds him that people who have been to hell can't be controlled like that. She says the rule was in the handbook. Midge asks if Hub might hesitate to fight Lilith now that she is inside Cheryl's body. He promises that he won't, then hands her the device that activates the trap. He starts the music. The sound travels far. At the diner, Lilith hears it and takes off like lightning. Once she leaves, the spell over the women fades. They start screaming. One officer runs into the sheriff's office to tell Ruby what just happened. He says everyone saw Cheryl and she's definitely possessed. Kitty cheers. Ruby grabs her keys and hurries out. Lilith arrives at the clearing, but she stays just outside the trap. Hub steps out and aims his gun. She sees him right away and rushes at him. Her strength sends him flying onto the minivan. She lifts him up and soars into the sky. Midge presses the button. The trap works. Lilith screams in pain and falls back down near the minivan. She cries out to Hub and begs him not to hurt her again. She uses her power to heal all his injuries. Then she offers him something more. If he lets her go, she will leave Cheryl's body, keep Cheryl alive, and wipe away his worst sin. That would give him back his family. Hub agrees. Lilith leaves Cheryl's body and enters a black crow. The bruises on Hub's arms disappear. He breaks the trap and lets her go. The crow flaps its wings and flies into the sky. Midge looks at Hub's arm and calls him selfish. Hub says there's always a way out. Cheryl wakes up and stands confused. She calls Hub's name. He helps her get cleaned up and brings her to the boxcar. Trish runs to hug Cheryl. Cade and Kitty rush over to warn Hub that the police are coming to arrest him. Hub smiles. He believes everything is fine now that Cheryl is alive. Ruby arrives with her officers. She tells Hub he is under arrest. They cuff Cheryl too. She calls out to Hub, confused and afraid. Hub looks calm and says everything will be okay. Backstage, Marianne runs into her dressing room. Tears roll down her cheeks. She wants to be alone. Lucky follows, but she tells him to stay away. On her costume rack, the crow perches quietly. It stares at her. Marianne looks back at it, unsure what it means. Lucky watches from outside as the police arrest Hub. He turns to Tater and says he's going to check on Marianne. He walks into the building and heads to her dressing room. Inside, Marianne stands alone, singing a soft tune without words. Lucky walks toward her slowly. He tells her she isn't thinking clearly and says he will make decisions for both of them now. He reaches out to touch her. An unseen force throws him hard against the wall. He crashes down. In the mirror, Marianne's reflection is not her own. It shows Lilith. Marianne keeps singing. Lucky's hand moves to his jaw. His body shakes. He cannot stop himself. Under Lilith's control, he tears off his jaw and falls to the floor, dead. Out in the main room, the black crow flies through the space. Its wings make a loud noise, drawing Hub's eyes. The police officers try to move him along, but he stops. Marianne enters the room. She is still singing. The song is haunting and beautiful. The words are from an old ballad about death. Everyone stops talking. The air feels thick. Every man in the room, even Cade, reaches toward his jaw. Only Hub does not move. Every woman folds her arms across her chest and bows her head. Hub sees the truth. The figure in front of him is no longer Marianne. Wings stretch out behind her. Her voice sounds otherworldly. He sees Lilith in her true form. She stops singing. Her eyes focus only on Hub. She tells him that the devil will always hunt her, which means Marianne will never be safe. She makes him an offer. If Hub chooses to serve her willingly, she will protect Marianne. Then she places her hands over her face. When she removes them, Hub sees Marianne again, standing there like nothing has changed.